All right, is everybody on page 3? All right, let's start there. Raise your hand if you've done stuff with a coordinate plane before. I know in elementary school, and I'm not sure, tell me if you've also done the coordinate plane with negative numbers. Some have, some haven't. I don't know, like, what about where you have to plot the dots and then connect the dots to make a design? It's called graffiti. That's the name of the exercise where you make a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So a coordinate plane is broken up. What's the name of the axis that goes straight up and down? Jen. That's the y-axis. The way I teach to remember it, y goes to the sky. So that's how you know it's up and down. And then the one that goes across is called what? The x-axis. When you make your axes, your x and your y, it breaks up the coordinate plane, this grid sheet, into what's called quadrants, of which there's 4 of them. Everything in the upper right-hand corner, this area right here is called quadrant 1. Immediately to the left, it's quadrant 2. And usually what we do is we write the quadrants in Roman numerals. The reason why we do that is because we don't want to get the numbers of the quadrants confused with what's called point coordinates or ordered pair numbers, which I'll get to as well. Right below quadrant 2 is quadrant 3, and to the immediate right of quadrant 3 is quadrant 4. Easiest way to remember it is make the letter C. The way you draw a letter C is the order in which the quadrants fall. So if you start here, this is your quadrant 1. As you continue throughout, making your C, now you're in quadrant 2. Continuing down, quadrant 3. And you finish off your C in quadrant 4. Okay, so make the C and you'll always remember 1, 2, 3, 4. I got it. Or no, maybe I don't have it. What is this? All right. Here you go. No problem. Okay, so then within the quadrants, we could put points. And each point has a specific pair of coordinates called an ordered pair. It's 2 numbers. It's like the point's address, and it's unique to that point. So, and let me erase this C so we can see. Can you see this okay, even though it's on full screen? If not, just look on your sheet. Point A is given the coordinates positive 3, positive 5. Everything in quadrant 1, both axes, both coordinates are positive. Think of it like a set of directions. To get to point A, starting with what's called the origin, which is in the middle where the 2 crosshairs meet, to get to point A, how many steps do I have to go to the right? Okay, if I'm only traveling right and left, how many steps do I have to go right? No, but it's not 1 step though. Here's my point A. To get to it, I've got to go how many steps to the right? Try again.
3.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Always decide left, right first. Then how many steps up to get to the A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So we say that I've gone 3 on the x-axis, positive 3, and then up to make a positive 5. You just have to remember, every time you go to the right, it's positive. Every time you go to the left, it's, okay? Then every time you go up, it's positive, like a thermometer, right? Temperature's rising. And everything that from the origin down is negative. It does. It takes some practice. All right? So we're just going to practice it. If you go to the next page, kind of what I just said can be summarized on the top. Let's go to that. Now, do me a favor. Point C is on the previous page. So you got to flip back and forth. I don't want to do flipping back and forth. So look back at C, and it's given the coordinates negative 3, negative 5. Because we move 3 units on which axis? Harley, the x-axis to the negative, which is what direction from the origin? Jen, to the left. Everything to the left of the origin, 0, 0, is negative. Then to get to the 5 negative, which direction do you have to go? Up or down? Okay, well, up or down? We've already taken care of the x. We went left 5 units. Now to get to, and I have to flip back and forth. Look, you went 5. Here's your negative 3, negative 5. 1, 2, 3 to the left. Now 5 down. Okay? Along which axis? Right. Okay? It's tricky. What I've noticed with coordinate plane, some kids will get it like right away. Some kids will struggle with it. Most like it. Okay? So it just takes some practice. What about point D? Point D, if you go back on the previous page, is positive 3, negative 5. I'll refer to it quickly. Here's D. It's in quadrant 4, and it's positive 3, negative 5. So, going back to this page. 3 units along which axis? Ryan.
On the x-axis.
X is always first. Left or right?
Right.
Good. Then to get to the 5,
Down.
down is negative.
Up my x.
You got it. Done. Okay? All right, let's practice. Okay, so they give you the coordinates. You have to identify the point. But look, they make it somewhat simple for you this first time around, because what quadrant is this? They've eliminated pretty much half of the coordinate plane. So most of this coordinate plane is what quadrant? 1. I'm going to put a 1 here. And then this one down below is what? Nicole. Yep, this one's 4. For this first example, they don't have 2 and 3. Okay? All right, what about 4? Sorry, 1, 4. What letter? Try it. 1, 4. How many think F? Oh, well, let's say. Remember, according to what we did in the previous page, it's 1 step into the positive, which is your right, and then positive 4 is 4 up, and that's correct, F. What about 4, 1? Eleanor.
B.
B, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and 1 up. I agree. 5, negative 2. Christian. G. Yep, G is good. 2, negative 1. Brando. 2, negative 1. Yep, C. Okay, here comes your first tricky one. 0, 5. Think about it. 0, 5. Madison. How many think A? How many think I? Okay, ready? It's always X first. So if I'm at 0, I've got to take 0 steps along the X. I'm not moving. But then I got to go 5 up. So it's A. Okay, always think left, right first, up, down second. So my first coordinate tells me how many steps to go left, right. If it says 0, I don't move at all left or right. Then depending on whether I'm positive or negative, I'm going to go up or down. In this case, I got to go 5 up, which takes me to A. What about 8.58? Oh, and you had your hand up. Give it a shot. Yep, L. Absolutely, both positive. What about 5 and 4.2? Carson.
I got H.
H sounds good. 0, 9. Let's do a vote. How many say E? How many say K? How many steps am I taking along the x-axis? 0. I'm not moving left or right, but I got to go up 5. I got to go up 9, 8. Okay? Like I said, some of you will get it right away. Some of you will take some time. Real quick.
But
What? Oh, we have one more point?
no. There are a lot more points.
Right. There's a lot more points up there that we didn't cover.
So they
Okay? So let me ask you a question before you flip. What quadrant is C and G in? Kate. Agreed. 4. What quadrant is D and H in? 10. 1. Agreed? Ready? Trick question. What quadrant is I and K in? I haven't taught it yet. Nick, what do you think? Yep. How'd you know that? All right. So what happens is when you have points that are on a line, they're not in any quadrant. So you identify it by the axis that it lies on. Don't put nothing. Don't leave it blank. Don't put no quadrant. Put the axis in which it lies. What about point A? What quadrant? Meals. The y-axis. It's not in any quadrant. Okay, let's flip. Do one more page together, and then I'll lay out what you need to do. Okay, now they give you the point, and you got to list the coordinates. All right, well, let's see. You practice. M. Always X first. How many steps left or right, positive or negative? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many steps up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 7. Point N. Go, Carl. Yeah, put it right on there. Point N is in Nancy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Looks good. Point P. Hand it off to somebody. Christian, you got N and P right? How'd you do with points N and P? Because those are the ones you're having trouble with, right? All right, what about Q? Hand it to Christian. Q is in quadrant 1. Go ahead. You got it. R. Good. S. tricky ones. The first one that'll have a negative. How many have negative 2, 3? Well done, yes. T. Scroll it down a little bit so we can see. Good. That's fine. Right there's perfect. T. Very good. U. Right guy.
I got 7, 5.
Looks good, yep. V.
Oh wait, sorry.
Give it to Shane. Go across court. Where is V? Oh, I see it. Yeah, you're good. Yep. You didn't go down 6. You went up. Up is always positive. Negative 1, 6. Good. Yeah, let me lay out what you guys are doing, though, all right, before you begin.